Okay, Mario once again, and this is the half scale, my Quicksilver style RC Ultralight with a bunch of hardware that I just received. All the stuff right here. There's a box with some tubing. Those are parts that I already had. So I actually ordered all this hardware. I'm not going to use all of it, obviously, because there's about 100 pieces to each bag, and that's just how I order things, or how they come if you order uh, from certain sources. I have one particular source that I order from all my hardware. It's become a typical thing since I've been operating as a microflight. Over the years, I tried so many different vendors, and so over the years, you tend to lock on one specific vendor if that works out. And so this hardware comes from the same place, so it's good stuff. Just for comparison's sake, I put this all these parts right here, right next to the seat right here. You can see the seat. First of all, let me talk a little bit about the seat here, because this is a little bit different than the way I've been printing my seats for the smaller versions of these aircrafts. So if you look at this seat right here, I had to do this in two sections, and if you've been watching my videos, you'll see some earlier video that I posted of the seat. The full seat that was printed is one piece that could not, the size of my machine did not allow it to print the top section, so it messed up. And I was going to fix that. I was going to print that section. I was going to print this lip here that also did not print well, and just kind of piece it. But I was like, that was bothering me, and I go, no, I don't want to do that. The material that I'm using here is PLA, for this particular build, and so it's not that bad in terms of cost. I basically went through one reel, which is about PLA these days. It's about $16, $20. If you depending where you get it. Yeah, I decided, I can sacrifice that and deal with that and just start from scratch. So I actually reprinted this, redesigned the seat, and in order to be able to tell the difference, this is the seat. This is how I print my seats. Typically, because of this lip, I print this flat like that on my regular machines. Which, if you have seen my videos on my 3D printing work, I use strictly Anycubic i3 Megas. I've had those since the time they came out, and to this day, they're still great machines. I just keep them. I just keep up, with the maintenance of that. I replace the nozzles mainly, just to because the nozzles tend to wear out. But once that's done, the machines keep going. I've modified a couple of them, to do, some things a little bit more efficient, but basically, i3 Megas from Anycubic. Unfortunately, that particular architecture of the original i3 Mega has been lost, through translation in the evolution of the company and the evolution of their machines. Unfortunately, that's I find that I can understand that from a economic standpoint. For the company, everybody wants to get as much in profits, with minimal effort in the manufacturing, minimal use of materials. And sometimes you start with a solid product and then you simplify. It is one thing that separates MIA Microflight, my company, from other hobby manufacturers. For example, I stick to my guns, when it comes to that, because the way I started MIA Microflight was to do products that are much better than what you find in the mass-produced market. As far as hobby items, my products will probably outlast a lot of those foamies, a lot of those even balsa. Balsa has its pros, and but it's not something that when I embarked on building my company, MIA Microflight is is something that I wanted to not do. I don't want to do what everybody and their mother was doing, and so that's what separates my microflight. The other thing that separates my company is that I am a one man show. I've been doing this for 25 years. So I did have a group of people at one time that were assisting me in making a lot of the micro helicopter stuff. If you've gone through my videos, the early stuff, there's videos that go on up to 100,000 views for my company. That's been quite a bit of views, at the time that I started the company. Nowadays, there's because of the algorithms that are used in some of these platforms, I'm not getting nowhere near those views, and I'm okay with that, as I say in many videos, because I would be bogged down, with a lot of work. And as is, I already have orders for this one right here. There's a couple other people that since I started this, they've been asking me, how am I going to supply this? Am I making this a kid? And what is, they're more interested in can I do this for them versus, how they're not even asking me how much it costs, even though, all my stuff is priced according to the amount of work, the level, the quality of the stuff, the way I do it. And nobody's really complaining with that, because I think those are fair prices. If you compare that with something else, say a balsa model, one good crash and that's it. You're talking about in this particular scale, or 1/3 scale even, or even 1/4 scale. You're going to be spending a lot more than what what I would charge, for something like this, or what somebody that would wanted to do this would invest in buying just the hardware, and me just supplying, the sales, the wings and the stabilizer, the elevator, the rudder. Sleeves, just a ripstop nylon material, which is the way that I'm approaching this particular project. I'm not going to supply a full kit like that, because it's just too much. There's a lot of work. I would welcome, I would welcome from a cost perspective, that but it's not something that I really want to do, because it requires a bigger box, a bigger shipping, and I don't want to deal with that, really. I'd rather just roll up the wing, send it to my customers, and just give them the instructions on how to build this the way that I'm doing with this particular customer that inspired me to do this full aircraft, so that I can have that reference, so that I can give it back to him, and he can build it. He can build it at his own pace, and he can go out and buy the hardware. The hardware is not hard to get. It's just a lot of tubing here. Rods, I'm waiting for those rods to come in. I was hoping that those would come in with the rest of this hardware that I have laying here, but they were delayed 2 days, so I will get those tomorrow, and you'll see how those rods look. And they're going to be replacing these rods. I had to piece that one a little bit right there, just to get the right distance here, just to support the section temporarily, as you see it there. But I'm waiting for those rods. There's another rod there. It's just a fiberglass rod that I had, to try to kind of hold this temporarily up, but I'm waiting for those rods, and once you see that, you'll see exactly how this is going to look really nice. So getting back to these parts right here, as I was saying, the seat was done in 2 sections. I had to go back to my CAD program and redo this geometry here, so that it would come in here, as two sections here. And this is just a nylon, just a heavy duty nylon bolt and nut there that's holding this in place. This is not pivotable, meaning that once this is set up the way it is right now, it's locked. And the way I designed it, I don't want this I don't want to create I don't want to make it variable in angle, because I wanted this to be the same thing as this, because this is the way I designed the seat. This has been working great, and it's got the right angle, so I wanted the same thing, but in 2 pieces here. So that's what you're seeing here. And for comparison, you can see just the size comparison. This is a 1/4 scale, and that's the full half scale. It's just two times the size of that vertically, horizontally. So that's the part. This is the part that typically goes right here. And if I can just size this for a visual here, I have to create that part. Unfortunately, I don't have a big enough machine, or maybe it'll fit on my machine. I think if I massage this geometry a little bit so that this will fit on my machine up to 300 millimeter in width, which is the platen size, 300 by 300. So I believe I can do this on one of my on my Core XY machine. That's got that footprint, because 300 is millimeters, about 12 inches. So I think this is a 10-inch bar. Not that I'm going to use this bar here. I just placed it there, but this is actually supposed to be over here and a little bit shorter. So I'm going to have to cut this and make it shorter, or just get another tube and put it here for the footrest of the pilot. This is not where I wanted to. I did this the other night. It's a little bit tired, but this is actually going to be, it is supposed to be right here with the footrests of the pilot. So, but this plate right here for the battery, I think I can do that on the 3D printer, and I'll just have to resize this to a half scale and check the dimensions. If it does, I'll be printing this. Otherwise, what I was going to do is fire up one of my CNC machines that has not been in use for many years, and do this on a fiberglass piece. Fiberglass. I have some thick fiberglass sheets. Do that in fiberglass, and that'll be my battery support. I did not have these slots originally on this part right here because of this for the smaller size. The holes itself that you see here, all these perforations, act as a through hole for bands, to support the battery here. So I didn't have these slots here. However, this is nothing new. I did have these slots in some early versions of this plate right here. They were just a straight plate fiberglass when I used to make the parts with fiberglass. Way back many years when I started with these kits, I did have these slots right here. Not only two, but I had 3 sets of these rectangular slots on those plates, on those fiberglass plates. On this one, originally did not put these slots because because it had already these holes, and I was the way I was thinking about this is, if you're going to put a band like a strap or Velcro strap, these perforations are large enough that you can just slip the band right through that, and do that. However, on this one, I decided to go back and re-implement these slots right here for a much bigger band here. So because this is for the quarter scale, and so the full half-inch scale, or half scale, will also have those slots right there, because the battery here is going to be pretty chunky. We're talking about a battery that's like a motorcycle battery, or a little bit larger than in size than a typical motorcycle battery. So lithium polymer or lithium ion cell. So that's how that's going to be. The rest of the parts here, this, by the way, are parts. This is one of 2 kits that I'm making for another customer that ordered the quarter scale. And so he ordered one in a neon green. This is, by the way, neon green. It's showing up as like a yellow, but it's not. It's a neon green color. It's a really nice color, and I've used this in some of my other airplanes for making 3D printed parts, and for matching with the sail, a ripstop nylon sail that is also the same color. So this particular customer ordered this one and ordered a red one. I'm done with all the parts. The 3D print parts, and these are the wheels. I was buying wheels, just the regular wheels that you buy from, for RC airplanes, which are more, they're not spiffy as like these right here. These need the rest of the screws, by the way, so it'll look like that. This, these are my own custom wheels, so they're a lot more customized than those just regular wheels that I was supplying my smaller kits with. But being that this is a quarter scale, I decided to just do this. And if if you have been watching all my videos on how I do these, the tooling that I use, it just made sense to use the same tools, to create these bigger wheels, the tires that you see there. So that's how I am approaching this, and this is going to be also on my smaller kits. I have to create another dedicated tool, same tools, instead of just using the same one, and varying that distance of the inner and the outer diameter cuts. I'm just going to build another tool because it's just as easy to do that. Just a bar with these two blade supports, the way you've seen them in my other videos. Check those videos out if you don't know what I'm talking about.